most of the time. Left Alaman and then no side door.
Here we go, another Square Dance Callers Talking. This is the Christmas edition. This is going to come out right before Christmas. I have the absolute pleasure of having Victoria Bundy. I met her a while back, and we did some stuff on TOTL recordings, and she recorded an awesome song. We'll talk about that tonight. Victoria, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks
It's
for
good to
asking.
see you again. A lot of people don't know you were one of my first podcasts, and it didn't work because I was starting out, and it did not sound good at all, and I didn't want to put it out, and especially being my first one. I think you were number 4 on the people that I had done. So long time coming. Finally got you back on here. So where are you currently?
I'm currently in Memphis, Tennessee,
Memphis.
originally from Los Angeles, California.
How long you been in Memphis?
Around 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah, 10 years post-college.
Los Angeles County. Where'd you go to college?
Rhodes College. It's a small liberal arts school here in Memphis. Yeah.
And like I ask everybody, you are an active square dance caller. When did you start square dancing?
So the story behind my starting to square dance is my parents used to square dance together in California, and in 2017 my father passed away, and I convinced my mom to come out and move to Memphis and be closer to family, and I told her one day that I would be willing to take lessons to be able to dance as her partner. And the lessons finally came up in 2018. And the day before, she said, Victoria, lessons are starting tomorrow. Like, you told me you were going to come. And I tried to back out of it. I tried to get out of it, but she told me I had made a promise. So I ended up going to lessons, and obviously here we are. So.
And so you started dancing in 2018 lessons.
Yep, lessons 2018, and then I did my first caller school June 2019, and then everything shut down shortly after that.
Sure, with COVID and all that. And I've talked to a few people in my podcast and just in general when I'm moving around doing different square dance things. And I guess I thought I was about average, but I was 15 years in before I even thought about calling. So 2018, you start learning to dance, and then 2019, you're starting to call. Where in that 2018 was it lessons that you decided you wanted to try and call, or how did that work out?
Good question. I don't know at what point during the lessons, but I don't know. I just knew I could call for some reason. I knew I don't know. It just seemed like something that I could do. And so I think shortly after I graduated, I had asked the caller who had taught the lessons about being interested in calling and kind of what the steps were.
Mm-hmm. So who were some of your influences from 2019 up until really now?
Oh gosh, I mean, I feel like everyone's an influence in their own way. Obviously, some of the greats, you watch them and aspire to be them, but actually bounce a lot of ideas off of David Toms from Texas. He was
I know David.
my first caller friend that I met at my first caller school. So we've stayed close, and we're always bouncing ideas off each other.
Very nice. So you start going after it, for lack of a better term, 2019 calling. So when did you actually get to the point where you decided, you were calling tips, I guess, at different little places here and there. When did you start doing dances?
Actually, so I opened a club. So I went to caller school in June 2019, opened a club January 2020. And so I was actively calling dances up through March when everything shut down. And then post-COVID, I got hired for another club. And so I'm coming up on 2 years of being the club caller for that in Memphis.
Very nice. And we were talking beforehand that you just graduated a class. How much have you taught and everything?
I think I've done 4 lesson sets, 4 mainstream lesson sets, 1 plus lesson.
Okay. Very nice. And that was for your club. How big a club do you have right now?
We're just under like 4 squares. I feel like we're consistently at 3 squares, which
Well,
that's
that's good.
grown. We were struggling between 1 and 2. So we've
Yeah.
definitely grown the last 2 years, which has been really nice.
Very nice. No, that's great. I mean, if a club hires me, I walk in and I see more than two. I'm just like, wow, we are packed tonight, because typically it's 2 to 3 squares, but if you see a fourth, I'm like, wow, this feels like a convention almost when you see a club that has four. That's awesome. So we got your influences and all that, and so obviously I mentioned that we did some stuff. We recorded, you recorded a song that I know of, and I was blown away. I didn't know you before then, really. Met you at the TOTL recordings in Nashville, and so music wise, what if you're not listening to square dance music, what is your genre? What do you like from music?
I guess I would lean country or rock.
Okay,
I am fully remote for work, so I actually don't listen to the radio a ton. And if I'm working, I'm usually listening to a podcast. So I
gotcha.
actually don't listen to a ton of music. I will say my favorite artist ever, I love John Mayer. I've loved John Mayer since I
Wow.
was
Okay.
in high school.
John.
Love some John Mayer.
If you could record a John Mayer song for square dance, what would it be?
I don't think any of them work.
I didn't know if you might have known one that I didn't. I mean, I've only heard a little bit about. I like John Mayer. I just don't listen to a lot of his stuff. But I didn't know if there was anything that might fit into there. So tell me about. Let's go ahead and get that out of the way. TOTL recordings. We met there in Nashville 2 years ago, I think it was now. Tell me about your song and how that all came about.
Um, my song. So I did Signed, Sealed, Delivered, Stevie
Mhm.
Wonder. Um, I think I had submitted that and Lovely Day, but I forgot who Lovely Day was by. But Tony basically told me that wouldn't work and that he had actually thought about doing Signed, Sealed, Delivered before. So that was seemed to be the clear winner. And yeah, got to go to the school, as you know, watch the band record, watch the whole production piece of it, and then spend some in-depth time working on singing calls. Highly recommend the school. It definitely changed the way I think about singing calls and think about different figures and how just the wording can fit into the phrasing of the song. So definitely helps strengthen that side of calling.
Um, I agree. I had not been around the singing call aspects of it until I went to that caller school, and we did that, and just the whole setup. And yes, I do recommend it. I know there's a few others that have started doing the recording schools. For the best description of it. And but the way Tony and Ted had it set up, it was fantastic. And of course, being that close to Nashville, once it ended, my wife and I went over to Nashville and spent a day and night over there, and that was fantastic. I mean, if you don't have the opportunity, at some point you got to figure out how to go to Nashville. Now it is a tourist trap, 100% now. It's miserable the amount of people just walking and moving around. We Ubered in and out from the school, so it actually worked out pretty good for us. Um, so you did Sign, Sealed, Delivered, and I will say this: like I say, we spend a week practicing and listening. I heard you, I heard the other guys, and working on it, and I was just like, wow, I don't know how you could do a song like that, just because I know what the vocals are. And then, of course, going into it, Tony was like, she's going to be the one that goes from beginning to end without having to stop, because he had to stop me 7 times probably doing mine, to get me here and there. But if anybody can go and watch the recording of you, and I'll try and figure out how to put it up on my podcast at the end, you in the booth. And when you end with the singing, it blew Tony away. It blew us all away. And so awesome job on that. If people don't have that song, they should absolutely go out and get it signed, sealed, delivered.
Yeah. I don't know if you knew this, but I actually hadn't finalized my phrasing for my figure, so that morning was kind of a surprise. It was the first time Tony and Ted were hearing the full thing.
Wow, that's awesome. That was fantastic.
So it
And
was a lot of pressure.
I had the opportunity to go in there and see you in the booth while you were doing it, and it was amazing. It really was. Especially I'd never done that before, and then get to watch you do it was awesome. because then watching myself do it, I was just like, oh, that was a disaster. In the booth, but like I said, they had to work through mine because I'd never done it before. Now, did you have some singing in your past, not square dance or anything?
Yeah, so I let's see. I did church choir growing up. I played the cello through middle school, and then I was actually the only freshman to get accepted into the highest level of choir in high school.
Jeez.
Um, so yeah, we've
So
I've
you had some
a very
musical, very
strong
nice,
singing background. Yes.
outstanding. Okay, and we talked a little bit before. This is going to come out right before Christmas, so just not square dance. Favorite Christmas song, if you have one.
I like White Christmas. I like anything Bing does, like Bing's
Okay,
Christmas album. I'll listen to that all day long.
gotcha. And what? So I don't forget favorite Christmas movie.
Oh, that's easy. National Lampoon Christmas Vacation
Uh,
for sure.
I was hoping it would be Die Hard, but that's just my thing.
From
National
me, my
Lampoon.
favorite movie would be Die Hard.
Though a Christmas movie.
I think you're
But
talking to the wrong person.
okay, all right, all right. Um, Before I forget too, how high do you dance level wise?
Um, through advanced,
Do
through
it.
18.
Do you call advance?
I can. I don't
You can.
regularly practice enough,
Okay.
but
Okay.
yes, it's something I'm working on. Yes, I
Okay.
can call it. We'll say
Gotcha.
that.
All right. Now, and so you've been calling since 2019, more or less, and now it's so 2023, and then we had a year and a half shutdown for the most part. So, do you have any stories about funny things that might have happened to you when you were calling, anything like that, dancer wise or anything?
Um, Not a ton. I will say this last nationals, this just kind of pops into my head during the collar school preceding the convention. Jet was one of the new teachers, and I don't know, we were in passing, and he was like, "Hey, this is a really cool get out," and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna try that." And so, so I was in a plus haul, and it's not a hard get out. I think it was from partner lines, like a past the ocean, split circulate twice, and then right and left grand.
Mhm.
So I was in a plus haul, so I thought they could handle it, and I called it, and it didn't go very well, but it's
Oh,
all
no, that's good. But that was it. Because I asked people, some of your favorite get outs. So it was partner lines, past the ocean, split circulate twice. And is a
right.
right and left brain? Okay. I'll give that a go. I've got two dances coming up this week.
Yeah, well,
Jet did you know Jet prior to that? I mean, before the school?
yes.
Okay. Yeah, Jet's phenomenal. He's an awesome dude. I've got to talk to him about square dancing and just about just things in general. He's an awesome guy to hang around and talk to, and brilliant when it comes to choreography and square dancing. I will say that. So, you went to the TOTL caller school. You've been to the one before the nationals. Any other caller schools or anything that you've been to or conventions that kind of stand out to you?
No. So yeah, the first school was the Heart of America School with Jerry Junk,
Okay.
Tom Miller, and Paul Henze, and then shut down. The next time I picked up a microphone was the collar school prior to the Jackson Nationals, which would have been 2021,
I was
right?
21. Yep.
Yeah,
I went to
2021.
that one.
So that was the first time I had picked back up a microphone. So I was actually really nervous because I had signed up to call for that convention, and then
Right.
I didn't know how much I would remember. But um, so yeah, have done that one. Did the caller school prior to this last national convention, and then the total school. And those are the only schools I've done so far.
Now, and we've talked to, you're pretty busy in your day job. You're an accountant, is that correct?
Yes, yes, I do corporate accounting. Actually do
Okay.
specifically mergers, or
Okay.
not mergers, acquisition and integration accounting. So whenever we acquire a new company, I get to help them get
I
their
got
books
you.
right, which is pretty neat to kind of, I don't know. I get to see stuff before it's announced publicly. So
Well,
I
that's
don't know.
awesome. That's good too.
I think it's pretty fun.
Now, with that type of schedule, do you get to travel much? Do you call much traveling around, or are you pretty busy just with regular work?
So that's the thing with my work. We never know when we're going to close on an acquisition. So it actually makes vacation and traveling pretty difficult.
Sure.
So we actually just announced we are intending to purchase a company. So we just announced that yesterday. So I know just based off of timing that probably around February I'll end up being really busy.
Okay.
But it's kind of, yeah, it's hard. You never really know. Negotiations can be held up or pushed forward, and kind of just always living in anticipation. But since I'm fully remote, like if I were to travel, I can always bring my computer and
Sure.
be working. But I do try to anything like less than 8 hours driving wise.
Mhm.
Me and my mom will go to whether it's to dance or to call. So we usually do Alabama State, Tennessee State, Indiana State. I've done Kentucky the last couple of years.
Mhm.
So those are the ones that I usually hit up convention wise to call
Okay.
at.
Now, and two, what I like to ask, especially people that have been around different places and you've been to several different conventions, there any halls or dance floors or anything like that stand out to you? It's just a really cool place or anything like that?
I've heard other people give this answer, but I feel like the Tennessee State
Yeah.
Convention Center is the best, and it's right downtown, so it's
Yeah.
easy pop in, pop out. You can be dancing. Next thing you can be at Ripley's, believe it or not.
Yeah.
So it just has the best of all the
It is.
world.
That's one of the better state conventions that I've been to. Just one, because it's Tennessee and the location. And like you said, you can go to Ripley's, you can go to Dollywood, 15-minute drive, you're at Dollywood if you wanted to do that.
Yeah.
And their live band hall, that is a fantastic square dance just set up, the stage and all that. Not got to call with the band yet myself, but maybe that day will come along. If I plan ahead and actually tell them I'm coming, I always tell them the day before. So I have to just grab whatever spots available.
Yeah.
So I have to plan. Um,
I just thought of another funny story really
yeah, yeah.
quick. Date. So I don't remember what year this was, but it was the first year I was interested in calling at the Tennessee State Convention. I had reached out to someone about, what did I need to do to call? Like I'm a new caller in Tennessee. I have a club, blah, blah, blah. And the response was, we're full.
Yep.
So, and I was like, well, I think I'm a Tennessee caller. So
Yeah, that is it is tough. Because Georgia's wide open. If you tell Georgia you're coming, they'll put you up there. Now Tennessee is a little bit tougher because, like I said, it's probably more attended than Georgia. And I use that for example because I'm from here, and so Tennessee's tough. Alabama's another one. If you're not an Alabama caller and you haven't been around in a while, it's tough to get in there and get a bunch of spots. You can get a spot here and there. Um, so it's one of those cases that if you know some people, you might, because I get in there and somebody will say, "Hey, come do something with me." The downside is you can't prepare for that. It's just like, okay, 4 minutes ago I was walking in the hall and now I'm standing on the stage trying to do a duet with somebody. And it's, sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't.
yeah,
Um,
well, it sorted itself out, and I got some slots. So
Very nice. Okay.
now I'm in the loop.
Good. And that's good. And plus you're from Tennessee, so you should, and I've heard you call, you should be one of their featured callers. That's my personal opinion. Favorite singing call. If you came to my club and I said, "Hey, go up there and do something," signed, sealed, delivered, sure. But do you have any others that's your favorite?
I love, love, love Boogie Grass Band. I do it probably too much.
Okay.
So it'd probably be that, or I love also Superstition, also
Okay.
Stevie Wonder.
Very nice. Superstition. Okay. And we were talking before, so definitely, I'm probably going to definitely see you at Caller Lab this coming year in Texas because you can also work. You do some work up in that area. Um, have you been to a Caller Lab convention before?
Yes, my first one was in Reno.
Reno. Okay. Okay. I remember I was there in Reno. And I've talked to people about it, and I'm a big fan of Caller Lab, obviously, and a member. And and I won't get into that because I've done a Caller Lab podcast, but just the stuff you can do and the people you get to meet and see. Now I get to see you a little bit more with Tennessee and all that, but some of those folks out there. So I'm looking forward to that. What do you have besides Caller Lab coming? Do you have anything where you're traveling? I know with work you don't get to travel a lot, but do you have anything scheduled?
No,
Okay.
not this year.
It's to the ups and downs of you're one of the younger callers for sure. But you have a lot more regular work ahead of you before you can decide to be a regular full-time square dance caller. I can retire in about a year, so I'll get to call more and travel a little more. Um, but and in anytime you do that, so social media wise, do your square dancing, do you have your own website? No?
No,
Okay. But you have Facebook, yeah.
I do have Facebook,
Is that your
unfortunately.
is that your only social media? I know you don't do a lot on it. We talked about that. So if you were doing something, how do you put it out there?
Normally I don't. I,
No,
I don't
nothing
know.
wrong with it. Yeah.
It's just not who I am. The
Okay.
self-promotion is not something that appeals to me. I kind of like being a little bit of a surprise too. So,
Very nice. Okay. Well, when you and your mother, whenever you're traveling, if y'all decide to go to Disney World or Florida, you have to pass through Georgia. You need to let me know. I've got a ton of contacts down here. I would love for you to get on the stage down here and do some calling. Florida, I've got a few contacts, not as many as Georgia, and we could definitely set something like that up.
all right.
So so the national convention this coming year, that's not till June, I think. I forget what the dates are, but it's in Wisconsin. Are you going to that?
I am.
Very
And
nice.
yeah, I'm excited. We're gonna do so one of my other hobbies is cycling, so
Okay.
road bikes. And so the week before the convention, me and my mom are gonna do a bike ride through Door County, Wisconsin.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, so it'll be like a week long bike
Okay.
ride before the convention.
And we had talked before, but I want to bring it up again. And I try and do this just a little bit more about you. Do you think of yourself as a movie person or a TV person?
TV definitely.
Favorite TV shows?
The Office.
Okay, The Office.
Oh
Good, good.
gosh. I, um, I can't even think of any other ones.
Okay,
So
no, that's
I
fine.
actually don't have cable and I don't have any like streaming services. So
You
I
don't even have streaming services? How do you watch TV?
there's some like free apps.
Okay,
If
okay.
you have a smart TV, you can watch some free
Yeah.
shows. So
Yeah, no, we got rid of actual cable probably, I don't know, 3 years ago. So everything is based off of apps that we watch, so we're still back right on the board with watching stuff. But yeah, Office is a great one. We went through probably 8, 9 seasons of that when it was actually on.
oh, Seinfeld, I love Seinfeld.
Seinfeld, no, it's a good one. Obviously, you're from you said Los Angeles, California, now in Tennessee. If you could choose, and not today because work has you in a specific area, of course you're remote, but if you could live anywhere, where would it be? Beaches, mountains, deserts?
No, I would go, well, who knows? You never know, I might end up trying to work for Walmart, but I love, love, love Bentonville, Arkansas. I love that whole area, Northwest Arkansas.
What does Northwest Arkansas have, and how does that come in?
I don't know, they have everything. Basically, Bentonville, so that's where Walmart headquarters are. And so
Okay.
they've essentially built the town to be exactly what they want it to be. It looks like you're like in a Hallmark movie. They have this amazing museum. It's known as like the mountain bike capital of the world. They have beautiful bike trails, just a bunch of outdoor stuff. They have amazing restaurants. It's a little bit cooler than Memphis, and it doesn't get as hot in the summer, a little bit rockier.
Bentonville, Arkansas. Did you say?
Bentonville, Arkansas.
Never heard of it. Okay. I'll have to Google that and see about I have never heard of it. Okay.
Yeah, I need to stop telling people about it. I don't want it to get too crowded for when I move there.
All right. So not a beach person. All right. Gotcha.
No, I do not like the beach at all.
Okay.
I would prefer a lake over a beach,
Okay.
which is
Like
kind of
over
funny
beach.
because I grew up in Manhattan Beach, which is on the beach. So I literally
Mhm.
grew up on the beach.
Wow. Okay. Makes sense. Oh my goodness. So we've talked about the levels you call at and everything. What are you looking? I mean, again, you still have a long time to work, regular work. What are you looking to do with this square dancing? Do you want to try and move higher up in the calling and dancing, or you just want to stay where you are and that type of thing? I know I don't have to ask. I already know that there's more recordings in your future just from hearing you do the one that you did. But what do you want to do with your square dance calling?
So I really enjoy being a club caller. I enjoy teaching. Just like kind of as an example, a couple of my graduates from my first class this year were having their mother was having some health issues, and so square dancing was their like date. It was their chance to get away from the craziness at home. So I really like knowing that I can provide a fun space activity for people to kind of get a break from their lives and come enjoy, be with friends, move, think a little bit. And I
Okay,
like building the relationships with the students and the dancers.
very nice. Back on the calling part of it too. Do you have a favorite call?
I
Mainstream
really like
plus.
walk and dodge from lines, or actually I really like walk and dodge after like a flutter wheel or recycle. Um, Actually, it's pretty cool if you do from a wave, recycle, boy walk, girl dodge, and it puts them in a column. They think that's pretty cool.
Very nice. Okay. And I am writing it down. My wife gives me advice on the corner every now and then. I've told a bunch of people that I do this when I'm doing this podcast and all that, that it started out, I wanted to talk to people that I don't normally get to talk to, a bunch of the folks on the West Coast and what have you, that I don't run up on unless it's a caller lab or a convention. And, but then I realized this is a caller school for me. I want to figure out, how people get to where they are and what they're planning on. And then, I ask everybody, and if you have one, if great, and I'm catching you cold. I didn't give you time to prepare for this. I don't, most people, do you have a favorite get out? Not the one that Jet gave you.
No, not that one. Let's see. So I'm gonna tell you two, but
Okay.
the one from partner lines, if you do a touch a quarter column, circulate boys run, but if you have it where the like heads or sides are at home and you
Mhm.
do boys run, centers face in, no matter how many times I call that get out with the centers face in, they're just amazed. Like you can
Okay.
just see it on their faces. They're like, whoa, that's so cool. How did I get here? And it's the simplest thing. My other favorite one, which this one I tried not to use it in mainstream rooms because it can kind of be, it's not tricky, but sometimes people get confused about which way to go. But same thing from partner lines, but you would have to have the appropriate flow. So, like for example, swing through, boys run, bend the line. So you have the boy go moving forward, boy walk, girl dodge, cast off three quarters, boy trade, right and left grand. So from partner lines, boy walk, girl dodge, cast off three quarters, boys trade, right and left grand.
Always trade right and left brain. I'll use this week.
But it's really nice if you have obviously you need the flow beforehand.
Yep. I just the week before last I was in New Hampshire with Tony and Ted at their weekend and their workshops. It was exactly that. It's about flow. And Ted had to go over. He was doing wheel arounds and reverse wheel arounds, and even I struggle if I'm not thinking about it because he stopped us and he was like, "Look, just trust me and go with the flow. If you're going forward and I call a wheel around, you're probably still going to be going forward. I'm not going to expect you to slam it in reverse. So it has a lot to do with the body flow. And
Yeah.
now that get out, I'm definitely going to use that. So,
Do you want me to tell you my trick for reverse and wheel around?
absolutely.
Okay, so here's how I remember it. Or this is before it was ingrained in my brain. This is how I would remember it. So normally, anytime you hear reverse, like reverse flutter wheel, who's going? The
Hmm.
left side dancer, the boy. So
Okay.
reverse wheel around. You have the left side dancer going forward as the right side dancer. The girl's backing up.
Okay.
That's how I remember it.
Gotcha.
Reverse, reverse.
Reverse, reverse. All right. I will write that down too. I got that. So we got your favorite call, your favorite get out. Anything else square dance stuff you want to talk about? Anything that you got going on or anything like that?
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like, yeah, it's crazy to think I've been calling for this club 2 years and just looking back on
What's the club name?
Pistols and Petticoats.
Pistols and Petticoats.
I
Very
think it's
nice.
I don't know if I want to. I think it's the oldest club in Memphis, but I could be wrong.
Okay. That's something that you're the first person I've asked that's a club caller what their club name was. I need to start asking that because there's some really good ones out there. And Pistols and Petticoats, fantastic. I just did buttons and bows. Something I forget what I did. Some club, a couple of it was a club in Woodstock, Georgia that just started. I can't remember the name of it now. But yeah, I got to start asking that. So you're the first one I've asked that. So good for you. Pistols and Petticoats. That's awesome. Well, Victoria, we talked about some other stuff, and you've got some things going on square dance wise. I'm looking forward to hearing about it one day. And you've got a club that's grown almost 2 squares in about a year and a half, 2 years. That's awesome. And hopefully when we talk, well, we'll talk at Caller Lab and the conventions and all that stuff. But hopefully this time next year, you'll have about 6 squares. And because you just graduated a group, you said? How many students did you have?
15.
Wow. Jeez, very nice. Yeah, if you can keep that, it's tough. We've got I just finished a class a while back because we started with 5 and ended up with 3. So we're growing slowly, the club that I'm working with in Calhoun, Georgia. So Victoria, it has been great to talk to you. I don't think there's any sound issues at all with this at all. My wife would have told me I don't hear any feedback or anything when I'm talking to you now. It's been awesome seeing you. So, if you don't mind, and if you don't want to tell us, that's fine too. What are any plans for the holidays?
Oh yeah, so I have 2 sisters, both younger. I'm the oldest. One sister and her husband is flying in tomorrow, and then my other sister is going to drive in Saturday.
Very nice. Okay. All right. Well, I know you with your being a club caller, you've got dances with your club. When do y'all dance, by the way? Just in case we happen to be passing through.
We're Wednesdays, so Memphis has clubs Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Wow, very nice. Okay. At some point, my wife and I will get up through Memphis, and hopefully we'll run up onto you and get some dancing, get to hear you calling. If not, I will definitely see you in a couple of months at Color Lab. When is Color Lab? Is that March?
Yeah, March.
March.
End of March.
My wife/manager keeps me on track. I just look at my calendar on occasion to find out when I have to do something. So
yeah, well, yeah, well, go ahead and block off my work calendar. So that's how I know.
Gotcha. All right, Victoria. Great talking to you. Label mates for now. Still on TOTL. So if everybody can get out there, I want to put that video up at the end of this podcast. So whoever's listening at this point, when I put it up in a couple of days, definitely go. If you want to go speed to the end, that's fine too. But I want to put that up. Victoria, awesome talking to you. And I will talk to you again soon.
Yeah, sounds good. All right. Thank you.
We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Square through 4 hands now, baby. Oh, riding the